Hello and welcome to another reading vlog. I know this is a weird angle, but I just wanted to get Bluebell in the shot because she's so adorable. This is one of her favorite places, not in the lovely fuzzy nook nest, underneath it in the wrappings. Hey baby. I just love her so much. I love her so, oh, I annoyed her. She has to, yeah, as soon as I touch my cats, I have to lick my scent off them. I'm very sorry I made you take a bath. That's my bad. So this morning I went shopping, redoing my Melbourne diaries because my kids said that that's the only videos of mine they watch. So I'm doing it for the kids again, but probably just very differently. I'm trying to make it very low key and easy and not so much filming out in public because that's something I really don't like doing. I abhor doing it. So I went trying to find a dress for today because I have a date. It's a friend of my sister's. Oh, she's gone now. So yes, as I was saying, this person is kind of a friend of my sister's in that they are in my sister's friendship circle group. So she's got her friends and they've got their friends and he's part of their friends. So they know each other kind of. But anyway, we're going to a very swanky bar, but it is at 5 p.m. in the peak of summer and it's 40 degrees today. And I realized I just don't have anything that is fancy for a cocktail bar, but also can be worn in a 40-degree day while it's bright sunlight outside. You know what I mean? I think I needed something like a silk kind of slip dress, you know, a knee-length slip dress would be the vibe. And I didn't have nothing like that in my closet. So I went to the shopping mall. Normally I thrift, but you know, I don't have time to try and hope to find something thrifting. So I went to the department stores, every single shop in that place. I went through every single shop in that place. I found nothing, not a single thing. So I found a lot of linen dresses and I'm like, oh man, the second I get in my car, that's going to be wrinkled AF. That's not the vibe. It's not the vibe I'm going for. And then there was a lot of autumn stuff coming in because that's the next season. I'm like, that's not helping me today. But I did end up getting this NARS blush in Orgasm. It's like very famous, but I find that it's more gold than it is peachy pink. Like I'm getting more of the gold flecks on my cheeks than the peach pink. Maybe I'm too tan for it. I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. I also bought some perfume. I bought this one today. I'm trying to find a new signature scent because Angel that I normally wear doesn't smell the same on me anymore. It's changed and I'm not having a lot of luck. I did find this one though is just for like everyday go pick up the kids in summer kind of scent. And I love the company's ethical stance and the fact that every purchase there is a portion donated to humanitarian efforts. So this one just reminds me of reading at the beach on a hot sunny day with a light breeze. So that's perfect for just doing the errands in summer. So yeah, I've decided to go with this outfit here. I hate it when I'm going somewhere and I don't feel like I've got the right vibe down outfit wise. And this is the best that I could do, but I still feel like this is just more of a go out to a champagne brunch with your girlfriends kind of dress than to a classy cocktail lounge in summer. It's the best that I could do with what I had. I didn't want to force myself to buy something I didn't love. I don't do that. But I'll let you know how the date goes as well, a little bit. So I've started reading some books this week already. I read this one first. So this is The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich. I'll put some images above the pictures. I think the illustration style is gorgeous. In this land, everything's got a cheese name. So all of the characters are like Camembert, Brie. They live in the city of fromage. So it's all cheesy. And it's a cheesy romance too. So you've got a princess and then you've got a former countess, now count, because her father died, cannot leave anything to his daughter. So his daughter becomes a son. And these two meet and low-key fall in love, but will she actually want to be with a woman or not? That kind of thing. It's just so cute. It's really easy to read. It's a joy, to be honest. It's just a lighthearted but also kind of serious book about two people falling in love and wanting to be who they are, even if society says that's not okay. So I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a good time. It made me happy. I'm just really happy right now. I've got beautiful weather. And I've had a string of books that have left me smiling and that just lightens my mood. So yeah, this was fantastic. I really enjoyed it and would read more from this Brazilian author. The next book that I have just picked up is Hunt on Dark Waters by Katie Robert. So I tried one of her books previously. I think it was Neon gods, something of that vein. I'll put a picture up because it was supposed to be, I think, a Hades and Persephone retelling, who are my favorite couple, my favorite Greek pantheon couple, but I didn't like it. It's not for me. I have yet to read a published Hades and Persephone retelling that I actually like. I think my standards are set too high for those two. So, but I DNF that one. So it was it's a bit of a risk picking this up. It's, but I do like to give authors second chances at the minimum. Like, I won't write someone off unless I hate the writing style. I'm talking about Sally Rooney, just never again. So this one, from what I've gathered, I've read 20 pages. This starts out with a witch named Evelyn who is having a bit of a situationship with a hot vampire named Lizzie. But I was like, a vampire's really going around with the name Lizzie. No shade to the name Lizzie, but like normally with vampires, they've got some kind of like, oh, this is, Satine, a vampire, like something a bit unusual. But I was like, okay, Lizzie. And she ends up being dumped as much as you can be in a situationship. And to escape, she flees through a portal that Lizzie had just lying around her house with a bunch of Lizzie's jewelry as well. Because why not, take a couple of stolen tokens with you when a situationship ends. And she goes through the portal, and I think she says she's fished out of the water, so she's in a new land, by a band of seafarers and their telekinetic captain. So it seems to be a romantasy with a witch, and I'm guessing a pirate, a telekinetic pirate. There's lots of paranormals in this, so this feels, even though it says romantic fantasy, this feels paranormal to me because it feels very contemporary. So I might have to look up what the actual distinction is between a fantasy and a paranormal. For me, it's always felt like the paranormals tend to be set in modern worlds, like modern cities, modern day, have a bit more of an urban feel, have quite a lot of fantasy type creatures. So it's not just, say, vampires or just, fae and elves. It's like everybody. There's everybody here. This is just a fruit salad of paranormal creatures. So I will have to look that up just so I know in future reference. This feels more like a contemporary paranormal to me with a bisexual main character. And then it's going to turn maybe a bit pirate-esque, a bit seafaring, a bit of that action happening. So I don't know if this is meant to be a dark romance. It doesn't feel that way so far, but we'll see how we go. It is just over 300 pages, so not too bad. But I will read some more of this most likely tomorrow. I'm probably not gonna have time today after my date. My kids come home, got to get everything ready for school tomorrow. Gotta love the school stuff. I love it so much. So that's everything for now, and I will see you guys when I return from my date. Okay, so I'm back from the date. It was going really well. We were vibing. We got along on multiple levels. Unfortunately, then came the point where I was feeling that perhaps this person wants to have their own children. I said, do you want to have your own biological children one day? And he said, absolutely, yes. Do you not? I'm like, no, I've got my kids. I am almost 40 and I don't, my personal choice is not to have more biological children. So that was a very sad point, because then we both obviously realized this is not going anywhere. He's looking to settle down and have his own kids and start a family, whereas I'm looking to find someone to join my family and be my partner, and my kids will love them. So that was sad and disappointing, but I guess that's dating, most of the time it's not going to be a win, but still single. So I have now read 50% of this book, and I'm really enjoying it. It's like a fun time. It's a real fun time. So now that I got more of the gist, it's a portal fantasy. So she's gone through the portal and she's fallen into Threshold, and Threshold is like the nexus of all the portals. So all the portals connect to it and through it, and it is guarded by the pirates. So the main MMC is Bowen, and he's the captain. I can't, every time I hear the word captain, I think of this. But basically this is a lot to do with like Welsh mythology. So basically Bowen and his crew are the Wild Hunt, and it's their job to kill monsters and protect the portals from, monsters going through and harassing other worlds that aren't equipped to deal with such monsters. The thing is that the crew are made up of people who have accidentally fallen through a faulty portal or were forced through a portal into Threshold, and they were given the option either die or join the crew for all eternity and bind yourself to us. So no one really wants to be part of this crew. So when Evelyn falls through and she's given the same choice, she's like, what the fuck? I don't want either of those options. So naturally she's just said, all right, well, I'll join your crew, but he's constantly searching for ways to leave it. The first question that is posed by Evelyn is, who decides who is a monster and who isn't? And that's like the main story of this book. Like, who are the real monsters? Who gets to decide who the monsters are? There's also, I'd say, a parallel in this with like refugees, because of these people were either forced through the portals or were fleeing their worlds and trying to get into another one. And then they're given the option to either die, essentially, return from where you came from, or be imprisoned on the boat. So I'm seeing sort of that parallel there. Evelyn is also a big animal activist, so a lot of these like monsters she doesn't believe should be killed. So that's like a very big conflict in the book. She doesn't agree with what she's being told to do. She's like, who's giving these orders? I want to know the reasoning. So she's questioning everything, and they're like, no, don't do that. Just follow orders. Like, Bowen doesn't remember his life before he wound up on the ship. He was 13, and he's sort of become just indoctrinated and made his whole personality about being the captain and following these orders. And so Evelyn comes and shakes things up a bit. This is definitely not slow burn. This is a sexy book, and I'm enjoying the sexy times. It's a bit of fun. I know a lot of people don't like this. Actually, after reading halfway, just went on Goodreads to see what the general gist of it was, and it's quite low rated and people aren't liking it. I don't know, maybe it might get really bad the next half, but so far it's just been thoroughly entertaining. There's another character on here who is an elderly, saucy lady who's also a weather seer, but I just love like dirty old women. That's like a Golden Girls vibe to me, even though the Golden Girls actually weren't that old. Like, I know in your head, I don't know if everybody else is the same, but you imagine them, they were maybe 60 years old, but I don't. I think they were in their 40s or something. I'll put the age up here that they were. But anything that gives me like Golden Girls vibes, I love those characters. So I love that character on here. Evelyn and Bowen, I don't mind it. I think Bowen, at the moment, like, he is a bit of a stick in the mud. He's a bit of a product of his upbringing. But I like Evelyn as a character, even though she's very impulsive and doesn't make the best decisions. But their relationship progresses very, very quickly. But I didn't mind it. I actually do like fast-paced books. I find them thrilling. It's a fun time. It's like a roller coaster. It's like, whee, just hold on and enjoy the ride. So this is fast-paced to me in that respect. We've already had, some sex happen halfway through. So, yay. I'm enjoying it. So we'll see how it goes. And I actually like that it's got some like deeper messaging involved. There were supernatural references in this, like she was referencing Dean and Sam and Cass. So I'm assuming her world was our world, just with paranormal creatures in it, because she was making modern day current references, that are applicable to our world, which I don't mind. So yeah, I will be continuing on with this definitely till the end. I'm hoping it doesn't get worse, because I am 166 pages in, so we'll see how it goes. I'm heading to the library, just patting my cat like Dr. Evil. I'm heading to the library today to pick up some more books. I should grab something to read on my e-reader at night time, because I can't read paper books at night. It just it hurts my hands because I've got the arthritis. So I will let you know what I will also be reading. Okay, I have returned. Cafe was nice. Probably wouldn't go back again though, but it was nice. Now, I have picked up the book Foe by Ian Reid. I have Permission by Saskia Vogel. Just look at that cover. That's gorge. I really like it. I got a business chicken for my little kiddo, and Where They Purr. So this is the Australian version of Cats in Houses. So I'm sure this is going to be another 4.5-star book, maybe even more because it's Australian homes, but we'll see. I normally don't review children's books, picture books on here. Obviously I read tons of children's picture books, and I don't log them on my Goodreads either. But kiddo particularly liked Weather Together. So this is sort of in a series about this unicorn that was born in the sea. So he's kind of like a narwhal unicorn. and his friend. So this particular book was that their friend seems to have depression or sadness and anxiety, and it sort of manifests as a cloud that follows them, and they feel bad whenever they're in that mood. Why can't they just be happy like everybody else all of the time? And I thought it was sweet. So it had some good messaging in it. The pictures were really beautiful and lovely. And like I said, my 9-year-old really enjoyed the story. So I thought I'd mention that one on here. Okay, so let me tell you about the books that I finished. So Beautyland, I decided to DNF at 57 pages. So in this story, you've got a young girl named Adina, and when she goes to sleep, she goes back to her home planet. So she is an alien, and the aliens in this are just human beings from the future, so advanced human beings. So all the aliens that come to Earth are actually humans, but in the future, they have no need for, noses and skin and things like that. But basically she's just doing recon for them. And look, there were parts of this that I did like. There was some human idiosyncrasies and behavior that I thought were really well encapsulated. Like for instance, Adina's mother is going to the store to buy her perfume. She only ever buys it if it's 8 ounce. She never buys it 12 ounce, even though it's cheaper per ounce, because they can't afford to be smart with money. And I just thought that was well said. But basically she corresponds with her alien brethren via fax machine, and there's one message that she sends which is, human beings don't like when other human beings are happy. And I feel like the author also doesn't want anybody reading this to be happy. That was Bluebell. It just was so clinical. Her observations were very dry and so far removed that it just felt like I was reading a report. And I therefore couldn't connect to any of the actual human beings in the story or feel any depth of emotion from it. And yeah, I just felt no desire to pick it up. So, are you going to go in the frame? If she gets in the shot, I'll move over so you can see. I got a cat butt in the shot. But yeah, it had a lot of premise. It had a lot of promise in terms of the plot. It sounded really fascinating, but the execution just left me underwhelmed. Okay, I'm going to leave the best to last. I'm going to end this on a high note. So the next book that I read was Permission by Saskia Vogel. I thought the cover was cool, but there's an even nicer cover, I think, than this one. This says that it's about a woman whose father is killed and she's got no friends, and she seeks solace in a dominatrix called Orly. My God, I read 50 pages of this, still hadn't met the dominatrix, and it was so utterly boring. It's another case of the main character just feeling very flat. Everything about this book felt flat. The dialogue, the characters, the pacing was very slow, obviously, because this is only a 250-page book. So yeah, 50 pages in, still hadn't met this dominatrix. But once again, I just wasn't called to it. I didn't want to keep picking it up. And I think when you push through books like this, you end up in a slump. So this just wasn't for me. Other people might think this is fantastic, but I think the word dominatrix is what caught me as well as the cover, and I'm like, oh, a fun read. It wasn't fun. This is not what I classify as fun. The character is not a fun character. It is a sapphic book, so that was fantastic, but just didn't like anything about it. Yeah, just it failed to hit any notes for me. Okay, so the final 2 books for this vlog, Where They Purr. So this is the Australian, the Aussie oi version of Cats and Cribs, or Pussies and Places. And I gave this one 4.5 stars as well. So this was the same as the other book. I loved this one too because it had a lot of British blues. And even though I am a rescue only cat type of person, if I ever got a purebred, I would want to get a British blue. They're my favorite. So there were lots of those in here. But once again, it's just a feel-good flip-through book looking at some lovely homes and the kitties that pace them. So that was that book. And I finished Hunt on Dark Waters. So I gave this 4.5 stars. I really had a fun time. I know this has not got great ratings on Goodreads, but that's the way it is sometimes. It's just I am against the trend. this was just, yeah, a really fun time. I've already talked about it quite a lot. It's a lot of sexy times. This is a spicy book, but it's not like crazy. You know, it's not like, wow, this is intense, but it is spicy. So it's on the higher end, but still not the most scandalous in terms of sex book I've read, but still magic is used in certain ways in the bedroom. And I am interested to keep reading. I want to continue on with the series and see where it goes. There's enough going on plot-wise and character-wise and theme-wise, not just, you know, sexy time-wise. So it was a romp. And now that Evelyn's ex has joined the crew, yeah, we'll see how things get shaken up with that. Hey, so yeah, Hunt on Dark Waters was a really fun time. Enjoyed it. It was very enjoyable. I'm in the mood just to have fun, I think. And I've been picking sometimes some serious books. It's just, maybe because I'm just so happy at the moment, serious books is probably not where I should go. But I think if I read all books like this, I would get sick of them and tired of them. So I'll keep doing what I'm doing. But until next time, stay wild, Star Child.